noon, and I'm feeling a little rough. I've been drinking tea. Um, Heidi's made me some tea with honey and lemon. I've been using my lozengers from my silver lozengers, and Heidi just made me a bowl of broccoli and cheese soup I'm going to eat, but I have to take a break because never seen this before. But we have just had a terrorist infiltration. It's happened in the last 21 minutes. Efrat, right in Efrat, Yehuda, 21 minutes ago. The warning is Life Shield Shelters. So this is in Efrat, Yehuda. And look at the top. Terrorist infiltration. I've never seen this. Heidi and I have never seen this before. So you might say, where's this at? Well, you can see. It's south of Jerusalem. South of Jerusalem. There's some type of terrorist infiltration in Efrat. We don't know what it is. We don't know what it is. And so if you give me a moment here, and this is not easy to do, grab my phone, and there's Heidi's phone, and you can see what we're dealing with. And I'm trying to drink tea with honey and lemon in it because my throat is, for some reason, just all of a sudden went bad. Oh boy. And then, because I had dental work done, I'm eating soup only, which is another problem, but don't worry about that. So your prayers is greatly appreciated. I'm going to try to find out what is this terrorist infiltration. It's just now happening live. Let me grab this. My computer's right here. And I also got to eat some of this broccoli because I feel a little weak. I preached really hard today, and in 94-degree heat under the big tent, and I've never really got over it. I've been drinking water and drinking tea, and been drinking Gatorade, like electrolyte stuff. And Heidi's phone just went off. But usually it'll tell you it's a drone, or to tell you it's a rocket from Yemen. If you guys don't mind, I have just a little bite of this. One more bite, just a second. When you're down to just eating soup, because I had it Monday. I had some dental surgery done. Trying to, a couple teeth that really went bad, working on them. Now, give me a moment. Where's my? And I'm supposed to do a quick infomercial because of this. I got to have a little bit of help on the side here from. So, if you're getting close to retirement, or just ahead, you probably have done a solid job of savings. But here's something most people don't consider: how much of the money is just sitting in cash. It might feel safe, but holding too much cash guarantees one thing: you're losing purchasing power, buying power, because cash is losing value every day, where precious metals like gold or silver is gaining in value. And gold's a biblical currency. So something to think about is just going to www.pastorpaulgold.com. That's www.pastorpaulgold.com, or call them on the phone at 877-646-5347. and tell them Pastor Paul sent you. You'll be glad you did. Okay. For those of you who just got here, there is a terrorist attack, some type of an attack. I'm going to show you. Let me flip the phone around. Okay. There. We've never seen this before, but look at the top of the phone. It says terrorist infiltration. And there's Jerusalem. And this is where this terrorist infiltration has just happened in Efrat, Yehuda. Efrat, Yehuda. And the people are being told life shield shelters. So this isn't saying bomb shelters. This is not a drone attack, I don't think, because it says it. And it's not a missile or coming from Yemen or southern Lebanon or Iran or somewhere. This is some type of ground attack. It appears, okay? It appears that way. Yes, I'm having tea. Heidi made me tea with honey and lemon, and those are my silver lozenges, which I've been using to try to, and that is my broccoli, cheese and broccoli soup, and I'm going to turn that around. So now I'm looking, and Heidi's looking, I think, if there's anybody reporting this, because something's happened, okay? But the mainstream media is absolutely asleep. Absolutely asleep. I'm so sorry about doing this. Okay, just went off again. Here we go. It's saying there's a terrorist infiltration. Okay, south of Jerusalem. Is there anything being covered? It is the 9th of Av right now. All right, now they just posted a picture of that, of one of the hostages. He's saying, I'm on the verge of death. Boy, the propaganda, they're trying their best to force the hand of the world against Israel. But here it is. I'm on the verge of death. Family releases portion of the propaganda clip of a hostage named Ram Braslavsky. There it is. But there's nothing being posted yet about some type of terrorist infiltration that has happened in Efrat, Yehuda. So I'm going to show you this on the phone. So I just grabbed my phone and went live and wanted to show you this. So let me do this. Here's the phone. Look at the top of the phone. It says terrorist infiltration. And then there is Jerusalem. And to the south of Jerusalem, there is Efrat, Yehuda. This is where it's happening. And there's a warning out telling people life shield shelters. So it's telling everybody, go to your shelters. Life shield shelters. I'm not sure what that means. I've never seen this before, and never. We always see missiles coming in from, Yemen, or missiles coming in from Lebanon, or ballistic missiles coming from Iran. I mean, we get those kinds of notices right as they happen. This is being told in Israel. Israel right now, the people of Israel have gotten this notice, especially those that are in Efrat, Yehuda. They're being told to run to the life shield shelters. because there is a terrorist infiltration. So is that another attack? Are we having another ground attack? And is this the area that it's happening? I mean, I don't know the answer to that. Okay? We'll try to get a perspective of this a little further out view of the nation of Israel. Okay, so now you can see on the map, you can see where Tel Aviv is. You see the Mediterranean over on the left. Jerusalem, you see Ramallah. Of course, that's the headquarters of the Palestinian Authority. Do you see Bethlehem? That is, of course, the city that's right behind the red dot there. You can see it. It's right behind the red dot where this is happening. So it's not happening in, there you see Jerusalem so this is south of Jerusalem, but very close to Bethlehem. And you can see the west, it says West Bank, but it's really Jerusalem and Judea. You see where Tel Aviv is. You see where Haifa is near the top. That's Haifa along the Mediterranean. You're looking at the Mediterranean. Now there's the Gaza Strip down there. So terrorist infiltration, I think what's happened, this is going to be an educated guess, is that terrorists from the West Bank, near Bethlehem, have infiltrated across the wall, because there's a wall that separates. Do you see those dots going through there? Those dashes? Dash, 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 like little black dash. That is the wall that separates the West Bank and the Palestinian people and the Jewish people. And you see the little dashes go around Jerusalem, and Jerusalem is in the green, all the way down, and then it circles Hebron. Do you see that? Dash, 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 dash. And it's kind of basically circles around Hebron and then over to the Dead Sea and goes straight down the middle of the Dead Sea north, back up along what's called, very close, it's really right along the Jordan River, because on the right-hand side of that is the nation of Jordan. And then it circles around again. You see Nazareth? So the West Bank doesn't go all the way to Nazareth. It starts to dash, 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 south of Nazareth, dash, 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 and back around, dash, 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 toward Tel Aviv. So that's the West Bank, right there. I'll just use this little stick. This, right there, this is the West Bank. This is hard to do when you're looking at a phone. You see all the little dashes, dash, 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 dash. You go around, there's Tel Aviv, dash, dash, dash. That's the West Bank, it tells you that. There's a little jog right there, and then dash, 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 and then it goes around Jerusalem, and then dash, 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 all the way down here past Hebron, but not all the way to Beersheba, and then cuts across, dash, dash. Boy, this is hard to do. Dash, 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 dash. This is the Jordan. This is the Dead Sea. Right up. I mean the Sea of Galilee. Excuse me. Right up. The Sea of Galilee. I think I'm confused now. No, that's the Dead Sea. That's what I thought. It says Dead Sea right there. Okay. So you can see the dashes. Come around here into the Dead Sea, go on up north, along the Jordan River, and then cuts across up here and goes back down. So it's like a circle. That's known as the West Bank. Now, Israel, so somebody has infiltrated, because where this red dot is on the Israeli side of the dots. something right here has happened right near Bethlehem. There's where the don't know what it is, but as you can see, it went off, and at the top of the phone it says it's a terrorist infiltration south of Jerusalem, and let's just zoom south of Bethlehem. You see how close Bethlehem is to Jerusalem? Over here, south. What is it, Heidi? Hang on, you're printing it out. Okay. Heidi's printing it right now. We're going to try to find out what this is. If you guys don't mind, I'm going to set that down. Eat a little broccoli and cheese just because I feel a little weak. I preach hard today, and I think that I drained or something myself. So give me a moment. I had dental surgery on Monday. On that, I didn't make a big deal about it. I just came back, took the rest of Monday off after surgery, and was back here working on Tuesday and doing all my normal stuff, but I've been in pain. Let me see what she printed out. Okay, here we go. Right off the press, exactly what this is saying. Terror infiltration. I'll show you. Terror infiltration. Sirens sound in Efrat after a car with a Palestinian plate entered the West Bank cities. The terror infiltration sirens went off in Efrat. A vehicle with Palestinian license plates that was reportedly stolen had broken through the settlement gates. The vehicle refused to stop for inspection at the gate. It charged through the gates. Residents of the settlement were ordered to remain in their homes, shelter in place. And informed that security forces were dispatched, and they're now trying to investigate. The vehicle then made a U-turn and left the settlement and was driving fast. Apparently, or reportedly, it had not dropped off any individuals at the settlement. And minutes after the initial siren, the IDF Homefront Command had prematurely announced that the incident had ended and residents were permitted to exit their homes, but this was wrong. It hadn't ended. The incident is still a developing story. So this is hot off the press, and that's why it's going off. Okay? So obviously there's something definitely wrong here, because there's these checkpoints in Israel, and you aren't going to drive through a checkpoint. These guys got guns, man. They got they got long guns, they got short guns, they got pistols, they got everything they need, and you're not going to blow through the check gate. If you do, you're going to get. I mean, they're going to come after you, absolutely. So this is a very fluid situation, obviously. Obviously. I'm sorry I'm doing this. I never do this. But I was laying down. Heidi was making me tea and honey, and I've already had 1 cup of tea with honey and lemon. I mean, I just preached a message this morning under the big tent My message is titled Suddenly. And it was a powerful, powerful service. And I had no problems, had nothing. I felt, preached the Word of God. But not long after I finished, we went to the restaurant, and it was a Mexican restaurant, and I couldn't chew, of course, with all this pain. So I ate some refried beans and some guacamole and a couple bites of chicken that was kind of soft, but it was tough to do for me. And I came home and I said, Heidi, I don't feel real good. I drank a lot of water. I felt like I thought, well, I must be a little dehydrated here. But then my throat started to get scratchy. And then it felt like something was coming on. And so Heidi made me some tea. Honey and lemon. And then I started using my silver lemon lozenges that I have. And you can order those, you guys know that, at my website, but they are great. I sucked on one of those. I was laying on the couch, and it was soothing my throat pretty good. And then Heidi said to me, "Do you like me to make you another cup of the tea?" And I said, "Yes, that'd be great." And she said, "How about some soup? How about some broccoli and cheese?" And I said, "That sounds great." And I'm feeling better now. Okay, I'm going to let you guys, I don't think there's anything else. I know we're studying. I'm giving it just a couple minutes. For those of you who may have just joined us, this terrorist attack of some sort. We know a car has blown, let's flip the camera. A car, there you see it. It says terrorist infiltration. And now we're finding out what it was. This is south of Jerusalem, south of Bethlehem even. There's Jerusalem up there. And you can see. And then at a checkpoint in Efrat. Come on, camera. Let's get clear. There we go. There's Jerusalem. There's Bethlehem. And you can see it says Efrat. And right there, Efrat, Yehuda is the area. A checkpoint. And a Palestinian car with Palestinian license plates came to the checkpoint and would not stop. Instead, blast through the checkpoint. Of course, you have armed guards there, IDF, and just took off. Of course, the IDF went after this guy, and he drove into Efrat, made a U-turn somehow, and headed in a different direction, and there's apparent chase going on, and who knows what that means. And is there anything else? And we've been listening. Is there any missiles coming? Or we don't see any missiles coming from Yemen or drones. And so maybe this is an incident that's going to get settled. But it's just a really weird alert. Very weird on today, the 9th of Av. Okay? Today on the 9th of Av. It's a very strange situation, but I don't think we've got any more. Heidi's did find that. Okay, now I'm getting an email from VP Earthwatch. I just looked up at my email. It says trouble in Jerusalem. This is from BP, who just sent me. Oh, okay, this trouble, this is a separate story, but Ben Gvir, of course, Israel's far right, he's the national security minister Itmar Ben Gvir led hundreds of Jews in storming the Al-Aqsa Mosque, or taking people up on the Temple Mount. Today, they loudly performed the Jewish Talmudic prayer under heavy police guard and began to sing and dance and shout and worship on the Temple Mount. Hundreds of Jews on this, the 9th of Av, up on the Temple Mount, praying the Talmudic prayer very loud, and then going in the courtyard area up there and began to sing and dance and shout unto the Lord as they worship the Lord. Now, according to the international rules of the status quo in Jerusalem, it is illegal for Jews to go up on the Temple Mount and pray. Prayer is forbidden, okay? However, there's been more and more and more Jews going up there, especially Rabbi Yehuda Glick, who goes up there every Tuesday and takes tourists up there. I've been up there with him before. He takes tourists. He takes congressmen from the United States. He takes, he goes up there with Mike Huckabee, go up there with whoever, a lot of different dignitaries and politicians. Or he takes tours of people, or he'll lead Jews up there. And every Tuesday, Yehuda Glick has been praying. Every Tuesday, he goes up there and prays. He's been given special permission to do it, even though that's not according to the status quo. So, wow.
כל וזוכר אז לעבוד וגואל לפני ביניהם למען שמו באהבה מלך עוזר ומשיח ומגן ברוך אתה אדוני ברוך שמו מגן אברהם הגיבור לעולם אדוני יחיה מתים אתה ולהושיע.
Okay, they're praying. They're laying prostrate before the Lord toward where the temple would be. They are praying prayers. They have police protection by the Israeli police. So you can hear it. Wow. So there's, I'll talk about this. I'll be back live tonight. The broadcast will start at 7 p.m. We'll get a whole update on what's going on. This is the 9th of Av, as well as a whole lot of other stuff taking place. We're living in the end times, guys. We really are. We're living in the end times. And prophecy is unfolding. And situations are beginning. I mean, the building of the third temple. I mean, this is, you have to understand, the whole world wants to part the land of Israel. They want to force it. I read that. It's called the New York Declaration. And I read that at church, a little bit of it at church this morning. I'll get into that so you can understand it better. But the world is trying to part the land of Israel forcibly. And Israel is trying to build the third temple, apparently, despite what everyone else thinks. They're already up there singing, dancing, and praying, and repeating the prayers. I'll be back, guys. Stay tuned right here. If something breaks between now and 7, I'll come back live. If not, I'll be back live at 7 p.m. Eastern on the coming apocalypse. Give your life to Jesus Christ because he is coming.